Hey there, good morning. Grab your foam roller. Just get our nice long foam roller here. Upstairs in the house today, it's just a little bit better with the internet, less drama. Oh, never a bad thing. So, foam roller, you're here early. You're also, if you have it, and if you don't have it, you need it, get a mini band, okay? Oh, Deacon's got to say good morning. Deacon, say good morning to everybody. Say hi, everybody. Can you have a sit? Good boy. Okay, so Deacon's here. Hopefully your pup's with you as well. We're a little bit early, so let's start with some foam rolling. And we're just going to start down at the lower leg. I really hope you guys had a good weekend of training for my premium group. And actually, in the show notes today, for even those of you that don't hang out with me all the time, you just come on Mondays, I'm going to put a link to a TED Talk about polarized training and a little bit more about that 80-20. So that you're really making sure that you're getting the most out of your training time. I'm a big believer in training very, very easy and training very, very hard. And that's how we get better. And if you're already really good, then you probably need a different training program. But I think most of the people that I work with really are focused on finding their best. And so in order to find that top end power, that top end speed, you need to work hard. And then with all of that in mind, in order to work hard, you really need a body that doesn't fail you. And I think that that's why Monday mobility is really, really important to so many people. I know it's important to me. It's been important to my training. I have big goals. My big goal, I'll share it with all of the world, because as soon as you say it, you have to back it up, right? My big goal is to go to Santa Cruz 70.3 September 12th of this year and do really, really well. Have a really good day for me, which means I should hopefully put myself in a position to win my age group. But, there's some really badass women in my age group, so all due respect, I'm going to do everything I can to have a great day. So that starts with staying super healthy, super mobile, and not feeling the effects of being over 50. So if you're under 50, man, you're doing this, you're ahead of the game, so congratulations. So let's start with the lower leg here. Let's get that foam roller just below the belly of the muscle. Most of the decisions about tension and length of muscle fibers is made at the musculotendinous joint. It's not made in the belly of the muscle. So we're just going to go ahead and work just below that gastroc, little bit of pressure on that soleus, which is really inferior, close to the bone, underneath the gastroc. So we're just going to work a little bit through that lower leg in a really specific way. So if you've had plantar fasciitis in the past and you don't do this every single day, then I'm a little concerned about you. And I know a lot of my people doing this today, we're dealing with planners, so thank you for showing up today. And it's getting better, and that's what we like to hear. Let's go back to that first side. We're going to do a little bit of flossing. So let's use the right leg to add a little bit of pressure onto the left, and we're just going to point and flex. And I often say, if the feet ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So keeping the lower leg and the ankle in good motion and good neurological control is really, really important. And you can tell sometimes just by the quality of your point and flex whether or not that those lines, those fascial lines, those neurological lines of muscle control and joint control are really working for you. Okay, so let's take the foam roller. We'll do a little bit of reactive foam rolling, lateral part of the hip. So again, taking some of the tension out of the body here by just supporting yourself with your arm. But also now we're going to work through the belly of the muscle, through the glutes. And why do we do that? It's mostly because we can unload it with our feet and with our hands. So I am not using full body weight here. just working through the glutes, doing a little check-in. My glutes are a little achy, so that means I think it's a response to a good weekend of training. There's nothing pinny and there's no real hot spots, like one spot. Even as I get to the outside of that femoral head and into that ischial tuberosity, I've got a little clunk down there by the hamstring. Nothing too much that I'm going to worry about. Okay, let's hit the other side. This is our check-in. We're unweighting ourselves with this foot and this hand, working through the belly of the muscle. Little bit of massage through that glute. And also really paying attention to what that glute feels like. How does that tissue feel? So just a little dull, achy for me, and that's a good sign of work, which means today I've had a hard ride this morning. I had a very aerobic day yesterday, all zone 2, zone 1, both ride and run. And today I had some zone 5 and zone 1. So hopefully we're all following each other on the Strava or the Zwift, and we're able to support each other as we see each other out on the Zwift all over the world. I love that about Zwift. Okay, all through those glutes, that's good. And then we're going to use a little bit of motion through the upper back. So all we're going to do here, let's go full kneeling position, and we're just going to go some nice foam roller head wraps, just nice and easy through that thoracic spine. We're just going to go 10 each way. And if your hips want to move, let them move. Good, let's go the other way. Just reaching that foam roller behind your head. So right here, let those elbows bend. Let it drop behind your head. 10 reps each direction. 8, 9, and 10. All right, right here, let's go into a 90-90 half kneeling position. So we've got right knee down, left knee up, and that's going to be important today. So really pay attention to right and left, okay? So we're going to go right knee down, hands on hips, and we're looking to take this back hip into the midline. So as we bring it across, or we bring it forward, we're looking also to bring it in. Lots of chatting about adductors this weekend. 3, chatting with people on email, questions, can you help me with my adductors? I think my adductors are tight, I think my adductors are weak, and I can tell you the answer is probably yes to most of us. Adductors are your inner thigh muscles. So we're going to work those a little bit today. Okay, 90-90 other side, right leg up, left leg back, and just kind of diving in, dive in, dive in. There you go. These little subtle movements are the ones that can really do some good stuff when it comes to mobility through the whole body. So as we run, we've got to get into this position. We've got to have nice rotation in the thoracic spine. The hip typically will follow that, right? Good. All right, let's go back to the other side. Here's the 90-90 straight on. That's midnight. Take that left leg over to 10:30. Just because you can go to 9 doesn't mean you should. We're going to 10:30, halfway, 45-degree angle there. Foam roller out at chest height. We're just going to keep that foam roller nice and parallel to the floor so the chest stays tall, breath stays big. 3, and we're getting that nice adductor stretch. 4, 5, we got 10 here. 6, 7, nice movement through the upper back. 8, 9, and 10. Simple things, you guys, just simple things. You just got to get them done. Okay, same thing. Right knee is up at 2:30. 45 degrees. Viper up. And as my chest goes back and that hand goes back, I can feel how that loads that adductor. So if I just did this, that's one level of tension to add. But if I add that arm, if I add that upper back, we're going to add intensity. 2, 3, 4. We got 10 here. 5. Keep that big toe on your right side. 6. Really plowed into the ground. 7, 8, I was definitely tapping my toe a little bit earlier. 9 and 10. All right, let's take this into a standing position. Set the foam roller off to the side. Remember, we wanted you to have your mini band today, okay? We're not going to use it quite yet, but make sure you have your mini band. So if you get bored with me for a second and you need to go get something, go get your mini band. Okay, so we're going to go into a nice split stance. It's not a long stance, right? So you can kind of see it's about as wide or as long as the mat. So right here, we're going to put hands on hips, take a nice big breath. Try to create space between your hip bones and your bottom rib. So you're elevating your chest, and then I want you to bring your back up to meet your chest. So everything comes up. Now, your shoulders are probably up around your ears, just like mine were. So let's go ahead, drop the shoulders, take a big breath. Inhale, chest comes up. Bring the back up to meet it, and then drop the shoulders. Keep the hands on the hips, and the first thing we're going to do, right leg back, we're going to pivot and open up the hips. And then we're going to pivot and close the hips. Okay, so we're keeping the space between the ribs and the hips, open and close. Open, pivot on the back, and close. So that lead leg stays in one position. We open the hip, we close the hip. Let's do 3 more of those. 1, keep the breath big. 2, good. And 1 more, 3, and back. Good. Change feet. So the lead leg is just staying in one position. We're opening the pelvis around it and then closing. So this is pillar strong. This is like a big tree, and we're opening up around it. 1. So believe it or not, that's a little bit of adductor stretch. You're probably not feeling much there, but that's getting a little bit shorter on the AB side of the hip. AD, adductors, AB, abductor. Abduction is the way out. 4, back in. 5, back in. 6, back in. 7, back in. 3 more. 8, 9, good. And 10, good. All right, from right there, we're working those nice hip rotators. Let's go left leg in front of right. Little bit of a longer stride. 3 points of contact on the lead foot, 2 points of contact on the back foot. This position and this movement is from foundation training. So I'm a level 2 foundation training instructor. I've spent a lot of time. I respect Doc Goodman like crazy and Pat Helma, 2 of my mentors and teachers. I want you to get your nose 2 inches over your lead foot. So right here, it's like looking over a cliff. We've got our measuring sticks. Pinky is on your hip bones, thumb's on your bottom rib. From right there, that is keeping our space. We're going to take the hands, scoop them from the bottom, and that's going to help keep the shoulders low, and add the weight of the arms. We've got the weight of the arms. You can feel that lead hip turn on. Right leg is back. Right thumb into left palm. We're going to open the hip just like we did. We're going to arm trace across the chest and end up in that nice big archer position. And your head stays pivoted right onto that lead leg. Now, the first movement is going to be my foot pivots and my hands come back, and my nose makes sure that it's at least 2 or 3 inches in front of my toe. So I'm leading that leg. Take a big breath. Archer. 2. Come on back. We've got big hip control happening on the left side. 3. And back. 4. Taking a big breath, creating space. Hips comes back. 1 more. Hip rotators. And coming back. And good. So it's slow and control of the lead hip rotators. Let's go right leg in front of left. Nice long stride, not overly long, and a little bit longer than we started with. Right foot, very strong into the ground. 3 points of contact. The ball of the big toe, ball of the little toe, and the heel. On the back, we've only got 2 points of contact. Ball of the big toe, ball of the little toe. Take a nice big breath. Look over the cliff just a little bit. That adds load to that lead leg. Scoop from the bottom, hands, nice height of the heart. You should feel that line, that nice spiral line, your fascial line on your right leg, switch on. Left thumb into right palm. First movement is going to be to pivot that back foot. We're pivoting the back foot, coming into the archer on the other side. Pivot the back foot, hip starts, arms are second. Hip starts, 2, and come back. 3, and come back. 4, and come back. And 5, elbow is nice and high, and come on right back. And then just come right back out of that. And just shake that out. That's a lot for your nervous system. That's a little bit of brain work there. Go ahead and grab the mini band. And on the mini band, we're going to just take that and put it above your knee. If you do not have a mini band, I do think you should get one, or 5. They're 5 for $14 here in the US. But if you don't want to get one, you can do this exact movement without the mini band. Okay? So from right here, what we're going to do is take those knees up in front. So I don't want them back here, so I don't want flat hips. We're going to close your hips a little bit. I want you to plant half sphere of tension out in front of you. Make sure you're up on an elbow. And we're just going to go ahead, and we've got this nice reach forward. So we've got a little bit of stretch through your rib cage on your right side. That's going to help stack those hips. And we're going to just hit that clamshell. 4, a little bit of loaded on that clamshell. 5, 6. Now, ironically, as I talk about just paying attention to what you're feeling, 8, 9, and 10, I am feeling my bottom hip, my left side. So got left side up now, right side on the bottom. It's not unusual for me to feel my left side. We're always going to be a little different on each side. Okay, reach across. You've got a little bit of tension through that lat, and we're just going to open. 10 reps. 2, 3. So this falls into a little bit of a different category. 4. This is activation. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Let's go back. We're going to hit each side one more time. Knees are up. I'm just going to give you this angle here so you can see that you can see your knees out in front. Arms here, nice and strong. 1, 2, 3. You don't need much. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then switch to the other side. Same thing. Knees are up just a little bit. Nice strong movement forward. And what that does also is it helps you stack your hips so that your hips are not open. Okay? Reach strong. Head's in a good strong position. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep those heels together. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now let's keep it on the ground. We have now activated the lateral part of the hip, the abductors. Now we're going to work to activate the inner thigh. If you have a yoga block, it's a good thing to have. Just get it as short, as small so the thin side. Put it between the knees. Knees are going to be about 15 inches off the ground, toes together and heels apart. And all we want to do is just lay on the ground, pull your toes towards your shins, That adds a little bit of load to that lower leg. And we're going to just go ahead and squeeze the yoga block for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it. And when we squeeze it, on a scale of 1 to 10, we're hitting it at about an 8. Okay, toes back towards the shins, pull those toes back, heels, get a little bit of tension from that. Squeeze the knees. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so keep that yoga block close. Let's pull both knees up into your chest. And what I want to accomplish from that is I want your low back flat on the ground so that if you try to actually put your hand under your back, you can't get it there. And from right there, we're just going to go ahead and keep that nice neutral pelvis and extend the left leg out. Pull your toes towards you on your left leg. Keep your pelvis nice and strong and into the ground, low back. It's probably going to give you a little bit of stretch in the front side of the left hip. And just breathe into that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And bring that back. I got all kinds of popping and cracking through my spine. All right, reposition, low back nice and strong. Right leg up. Hold on to that left leg. Pull the toes towards the shin on the right side. Push through the heel, get long through that right leg. Keep the low back strong into the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and good. From that position, let's go back, put the foam roller nice, even position, toes together. So right here, your big toes are together, your heels are apart. That puts you into internal rotation in your hips. Now, let's go ahead and see if we can get a little low abdominal contraction. Pull your pubic bone towards your belly button. Hold that nice and strong. And now squeeze the adductor. Squeeze the yoga block. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Keep the toes pulling up towards the shins. Push out through the heels. Heels are apart. Hips are in internal rotation. Squeeze the block. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, good. Let's get rid of the yoga block. Woo! Uh-oh. Okay, from there, let's put your feet flat on the ground. See if you can create a nice position where your low back is flat, your hips are flat. If your pelvis is neutral, you're going to feel flat hips. If you're in an anterior tilt and you can really find that big spot under your low back, you're going to be in a big anterior tilt. And when you are, you're going to feel pointy hips. So let's flatten the hips right there. And let's take the right leg across the left leg. Just really tight, like there's no air between the right and the left leg. Arms out to the side, and we're going to take that right leg and pull the left leg across. And the right leg can also pull away, so you're getting traction all through that TFL, all through that IT band. You might be getting it a little bit in your low back. Be gentle with that. And just breathe into that. Use the right leg to yank on the left leg gently. And then breathe into it. You might even take your left arm and reach a little bit higher. See if you can get even more space between your ribs and your hips. And then bring it back. All right, we're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. So now, left leg over top of right, really tight. Again, you cannot get your hands between your thighs. Right there. Left leg is pulling across. It yanks on the right leg. We get nice tension through the lateral part of the pelvis. And we can do a little arm trace with that right arm. So the right leg, right hip is got big tension. Right arm is coming up. And we just breathe into that. And that's a huge stretch for that psoas. You can feel it. And you can breathe into it. And it's not just the psoas. There's a bunch of muscles in there. There's that iliacus. There's the rectus femoris. All of those guys are all getting good stretch. Lots through the obliques. Lots through the fascia that just holds the belly all in one place, holds the organs, protects everything in it. Take a big breath, and then bring it back to the center. As we spend time this week training, you do want to think about muscles and how they function in couples. If your adductors are tight, chances are very good they're creating a little bit less function in your abductors. If your hip flexors are tight, chances are very good that your hip extensors, your big glute muscles, are going to go ahead and they're going to function less to their optimal capacity. So there's lots of different conversations around muscles, muscle function and performance. But the most important thing that you can do is get to know yourself, get to know those tight spots, start to understand how you can help yourself. And it really starts, number one, with good hydration, good nutrition so that muscles have a chance to rebuild, hydration so that your tissues can glide. It starts fundamentally from taking care of yourself with sleep and rest and not overdoing it and making sure that all of the training can come and just do all the beautiful things it's supposed to do, which is to make you faster, make your speed feel easier, make your strength on the bike, make everything just more happy, okay? Have a great week. We're launching into February. Just be kind, be part of the solution, and take care of yourselves. See you next Monday.